Welcome, everybody to the Shipyard Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Ship. Once again, I'm happy everybody's out here ready to uh, talk about what happened this past week. It was another eventful week in this world, in our lives. Hope everybody had a good one. For those who didn't, we'll be praying for you. Again, welcome to the Shipwreck Podcast. If you're watching on Facebook, please share it on your Facebook. And then after that, go to YouTube, the YouTube link, and like it and subscribe and actually leave a comment if you don't mind as well. We really appreciate that as well. Again, I'm looking forward to talking about today because this is kind of a learning pod, we can also vent as well and talk about how we feel about everything, but we want to definitely learn something today. I know I did researching what we're going to be talking about, but I'm just happy to be here, happy to host, happy to enjoy life with you guys and enjoy what's been going on. That being said, thank y'all once again for joining us. And like I said in the description of today's podcast, I wanted to touch on two important things that's going on in the world. We have what's going on with ICE and all of the terrible things that they're doing around the country, in my opinion, as well as we have something that's also is really important with the U.S. Postal Service and what they're doing with postmarks, which will really could hinder mail-in voting later on this year. So there's new rules out, so we definitely want to spread the word on that because we all need to learn and understand if you're going to mail-in vote, how it's going to be postmarked and how it can be challenged later on. But first, we're going to talk about, also a couple other things, footnotes here. We are going back to Wednesdays. We're going to go back to Wednesdays and we're going to keep it on Wednesdays. We started the show on Thursdays. We went to Wednesdays because of football, came back to Thursdays. And then I decided, you know what, we might as well just keep it on Wednesdays instead of having to go back to Thursdays or back to Wednesdays later on in the year anyway. So we're going to go for Wednesdays from now on. I'm sorry for the confusion if you guys are confused, but we're going to go to Wednesdays from now on. So next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. Pacific if you're watching on Pacific time. Again, we appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches. But again, we're going to start off. Oh, another one. I know we haven't gotten back to our soundtracks, the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. We will get back there. I promise you, we will get back there. But I wanted to really spend some time on what's going on in the world, and we'll get back to the fun stuff as well. But I wanted to definitely spend some time on this one here. So here we go. First thing I wanted to talk about is the aggression, the intentional aggression that you see from these ICE officers, in my opinion. Are there people out there protesting? Yes. Are there people out there calling them names? Absolutely. Absolutely there are. But none of it warrants violence. None of it warrants the retaliation that I feel that these officers are doing. Like I said last week, they're only getting 6 weeks of training, but I want to be even more specific on how much training they're actually getting. They're actually getting 47 days of training. And you probably said, why 47 days? Oh, we have the 47th president. Aha. Think about that. Just think about that for a minute. The fact that this narcissist has to have everything revolve around him. And we didn't even get into him accepting the Nobel Peace Prize from somebody who won it today. That's an even different subject. The narcissist in chief has dwindled down the requirements to become an ICE officer to 47 days. And he gives them a badge and a gun. And after I played his first video, you can start to understand their mindset. Number one, they're not trained properly and have enough training to interact and doing what they're doing. And number two, they think that they're untouchable. They absolutely think that they're untouchable. And they may be federally untouchable today. We all know the administrations come and administrations go. I personally think that by the time his administration is over with, he's going to pardon the entire executive branch. And you probably saying, huh? And you may not understand what I mean by that. He can preemptively pardon anybody. That's another reason why Biden should not have preemptively pardoned people. I just think it was just not good policy, not good politics. It was just not good. But I can definitely foresee Trump potentially preemptively pardoning anybody that did anything for him. And that makes it where you won't be able to charge them federally, including for murder and crimes like that. And so it's going to be on the states and local governments to charge people for stuff. And I'll add one more. It's going to be on the international courts to charge people for stuff. Because if you think about it, in my opinion, the boat strikes are war crimes. It just came out earlier this week that they painted one of the military aircraft to look like a civilian aircraft and bombed from it. That is completely against the Geneva Convention. That is completely a war crime. And people should be prosecuted for it. But if they preemptively pardoned through Trump, they can't be prosecuted federally. And I don't think there's any state laws that would apply, but there are international laws that do. And I think that they should be prosecuted internationally. And we should actually extradite them to be prosecuted. So whoever's the next president should do that. The next Democratic president should say, because no Republican would actually do it. That's the only way. We got to get these people to understand that there will be a time to account. And with that being said, I'm gonna watch the first video of the little Nazi, in other words. And after you watch this video, we're gonna start to show what ICE is out here doing. And when they think that they're untouchable, you can understand why they're doing what they're doing. So here goes the first video.
To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
So again, like I said, they think they have immunity. So it's carte blanche. They can be, and I think, honestly, I think that they are directed to be cruel, to be heavy-handed to people, to American citizens and stuff. So we have to, as a country, and again, it's going to have to start locally. It's going to have to start locally with with governors and municipalities charging these ICE officers with local crimes that can't be pardoned. That can't be pardoned by Trump. They're going to have to understand that they have to abide by the Constitution and abide by the laws of this country, because they're not going to abide by them federally. So they have to be prosecuted locally. So much. All right, we got our first guest of the day. Welcome back to the couch, Ronnie. How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, good people? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. Hey, your sentiments are very much well taken. The law is the law. We have to sit back, and I know we don't agree with a lot of the stuff, and it's not fast. Everything is again snail's pace slow. And I agree. There's no one above the law. There's no level of corruption that can't be uncorrupted. I mean, we had a corrupted president, obviously, come out and back in Nixon said, "Hey, I'm just gonna resign instead of be impeached." So again, the system is the system. It's working. It's not working again, like we talk about every week almost. It's like, man, when is the system gonna work as fast as we want it to work? I mean, there's nothing on this planet that works the way you really want it to work. Would we want it to be just? Yes. Would we want to be timely? Yes. Would we want it to be uh, open? Yes. Will we ever see that? In some cases, you
Yeah,
will.
I think we will.
The reason I say that, and others you won't. Have you guys? I mean, have we heard anything about whatever happened to Weinstein
No, Epstein or
or
Epstein.
Epstein? No.
No,
Weinstein, the
I'm
freaking
talking about
producer
Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah,
heard
it took
anything
a long
about that?
time. Yeah, it took a long time
Have
for
you
him
heard
to.
about any of those things where what I'm saying? Where if it was the other hue, it would be full face, or they're already
Mhm,
be in jail.
mhm,
Is justice fair? No, there's innocent people that's locked up.
mhm,
There's guilty people that are out. That and all intents and purposes, every piece of evidence points at them, but they can't be convicted because the system's a system.
mhm.
Um, the tragedy that happened and it continued to happen, and I heard about some other victim who was shot in the face with a non-deadly
Mhm,
round.
mhm.
Uh, that's
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
that is self-explanatory,
Yeah.
right? But the states still have rights too, right?
Yep.
So a lot of times, like we look at it like, oh, the federal government. Yeah, federal government can have some stuff because we do all the time.
Mhm,
Uh, at the highest level, and sometimes at the lowest level, some things just don't need to be out in public. It just doesn't. These type of things definitely need to have some transparency to let them know, hey, the law works against people that want to, go above and beyond the things they're, hired to do,
yep.
and breaking the law.
Yep. I
So
agree.
I fully understand frustrations on both parts. I mean, I still have cousins that murders are unsolved, right?
Mhm,
There are things out here where we would definitely love to have, you know, things things handled in the way they can, but sometimes it just don't. But these type of cases that are point blank in your face, hey, this is what's happening. I mean, for real, they can cover it up easily.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
don't
think
let
God.
those things. Last thing, don't let things that we don't really have. Like we supposed to be up in the uproar. That's why we have representatives. That's why we have
Mhm,
ways to get them to do what we have to do. But don't let your frustration of things that you really don't have any control over get you to a
mhm,
point where you don't believe don't believe in the system, because that's
mhm.
exactly what they want you to do, is not believe in a system that works.
Yeah.
Because if you think about, this country is a baby country. We're gonna go through those up and downs. It's kind of like levels of grief, right? Where you be happy, sad, mad, blame, whatever it all. It's the same thing with the levels of this country, how we go through things. Go really good, go really bad, go in the middle, go
Mhm,
up, go down, go sideways, go left, go right. However, you stay on the path of the system if you believe in it, and we have to continue to believe in it, because that's really all we have right now. We don't
that is
have
all
our
we
own
have.
government. We can't go do that. So we have to believe in the system and make sure that if we want to make it work, we got to come together, like we talked about last week. Is go out, meet people that you don't normally talk to, get
Mhm,
on there, get that community back, because that's what we're losing. We're lost out of that community. We don't have community as tight as we used to back in the day. That's why it was different. So continue to get out here with the good fight.
yeah.
Uh, get out here and participate. Don't be sitting around and just saying what I would do. I would do this. I would do that. I wish somebody would. You can go out there and get some things done too. And if you don't know, ask for help. Ask what you need, what you can do to be considerate of other people, and then you can go out there and contribute your own self for the betterment of our communities. And that's the
Yeah.
best way to do all this stuff, because good always outweighs the bad,
It
and
will.
that's what the biggest
I
system,
think eventually. I think
the
this.
biggest system I believe in.
I they didn't want it to be a white woman, and what I mean by that, ICE did not want it. The president did not want this to happen to a white woman. They would rather it happen to an illegal or somebody of color, to get killed. That'd have been okay. So it happened to a white woman. They had to find some way to otherize her, and they had to otherize her by calling her the lesbian and all of this stuff and leftist and all. So, but it's not really working. The American people were seeing through it. But that being said, I want to get to the next video, which is it's kind of long. I'm not gonna lie here, people, but it really shows you what's going on in the country, and just it's impossible for me to show you everything, all the different times ICE have interacted with people and is over policing and over enforcing and over heavy handed. But this is just a synopsis of some of the things that's going on. And like I said, I left out the one where the guy was just shot through his door yesterday. 2 people were shot yesterday. There's absolutely no reason to push that man like that.
What you just saw was a federal immigration agent
No
pushing
reason.
an unidentified protester into oncoming traffic after appearing to block their vehicle.
They just fired off a tear gas canister.
And here, another violent clash between Border Patrol agents and an anti-ICE protester who appeared to swat an agent's hand
Cruelty
away
is the point.
while recording an immigration enforcement operation. These moves coming on the heels of an explosive week for ICE. Their aggressive tactics only seem to be escalating. Last week, tensions between ICE and protesters erupted when a woman in Minneapolis was shot and killed by an ICE agent. DHS officials claimed the shooting was self-defense. Despite the nationwide scrutiny, ICE doesn't appear to be slowing down, raising questions by some police use of force experts whether the tactics of agents in handling both suspects and activists are inflaming an already volatile situation.
If they conduct violent activities against law enforcement, if they impede our operations, that's a crime, and we will hold them accountable to those consequences.
Social media has been flooded with an onslaught of videos showcasing the rising tensions between ICE and protesters in Minneapolis. The killing of Renee Good wasn't the start of these aggressive tactics. It was more of a tipping point. In August of 2025, Oregon state officials released a video of 2 federal officers slamming a protester to the ground outside an ICE facility. DHS says it was a targeted arrest of a dangerous rider who had previously assaulted law enforcement.
They lied with impunity.
In September, officers shot pepper balls from the rooftop of an ICE facility down at a protest in Illinois, hitting a pastor. DHS released a statement saying that the agitators ignored verbal warnings and were impeding operations by blocking an ICE vehicle from leaving the facility, a claim the pastor
You shoot him in the
denied.
head.
About a month later, an officer repeatedly strikes a person in the head during an arrest. DHS said a hostile crowd surrounded agents, verbally abusing them and spitting on them. Pepper spray was deployed to deter the agitator and disperse the crowd.
They lied so much.
It is a crime to interfere with the actions of immigration agents, and efforts to block their work have been documented on video. But police experts say that when possible, de-escalation is always preferred.
Making an arrest in a large crowd can sometimes be problematic, as opposed to identifying that person and maybe making an arrest later on when you're not enraging the rest of the crowd. When emotions are high, rational thinking is low. And so sometimes you have to really slow things down, take a step back, communicate.
Get the fuck out of my face. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro. You're so fucking tough. Get the fuck out of my face. You want to step in front of me? I've been standing here the whole time.
I'm standing here all the time. You got a lot to say.
Slap it out of my face.
You got a lot to say.
slap
You
the phone
put
out
the
of
cane in my face, right?
Yeah, I did.
Get it out my face. Hey. Come here. You want to get my fucking face?
No reason. No reason. Look behind drive-by.
Whoa! Whoa!
What's this?
Shooting serious munitions at us.
Whoa! Look at that.
Yep, I'm right behind you.
You're in fucking Baghdad.
Yep. That really just came out of the blue. No one was really doing anything here. This thing.
Fuck you, pussy! Suck my dick!
There is some serious tear gas already in the air. You see, are they arresting someone there? Yeah, we got somebody, at least one person down on the ground.
I just can't believe it. It's scared. It's frightening. It's terrorizing. We were just standing here. I'm just standing here talking. I mean, we were just standing here peacefully protesting.
Yeah. Nothing, I mean, no one was going near, crossing the street.
No, we're standing on the sidewalk. Everybody was.
My ears are still ringing.
I wasn't expecting that, that they were doing to do that. for no reason.
This is in America.
It is in America, I know. This is in America. I served for 20 years in the U.S. Navy.
Officers threw flashbangs and tear gas in my
flashbangs
car.
inside of a child's car.
I
Full of children.
got 6 kids in the car. Like my 6 months old can't even breathe. My 2-year-old then flipped out the damn car. This was flipped over. My car filled with tear gas. I'm trying to pull my kid out the car. I'm telling the officer I need ambulance. It took him 5 fucking minutes. He's going back and forth with me, telling me to go back in there and call and tell them to come up Lindale. They can't even come up Lindale.
Were you participating in the protest?
I wasn't at all. I didn't care to be, not to say it like that, but I wasn't. Like, yes.
It's crazy.
Yes, I was trying to leave.
What can you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
This is America, y'all. This is America. This is what the majority of Americans voted for, unfortunately. And this is what we're stuck with. And again, these people think that they have immunity. So they think that they can do whatever the hell they want. They think they can do whatever the hell they want. And it's on us as a people to stop this. Again, if you would like to join a pod, there are invitations inside of the Facebook thing. Facebook comments. If you're on YouTube and you'd like to join in, is at the pinned up at the top. If you're on YouTube right now, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on Facebook, share it if you don't mind sharing it on your page, as well as going to YouTube and hitting like and subscribe and watching it from there as well. That's hard to watch, man. It reminds me of the 60s and the violence that they did to the men and women of the civil rights movement and children of the civil rights movement. And this is what making America great again is. This is what they want us to go back to. This is what they would like to make us go back to. They know at some point in time here in the next 15 years, we are going to be a majority minority country. And they don't want it. They don't want it at all. So they're doing everything possible to stop it. They're doing everything possible to stop it. The next video I want to show you, because I remember some months back when they first passed, the Supreme Court first said that they could racially profile. And I was like, this is bad. This is bad. This is a real big slippery slope, because if they can racial profile for this, they can racial profile for quote unquote crimes later on. And it didn't come to me at the time that they would be racially profiling blacks as much for immigration. I thought it'd be more a Hispanic thing, but they're doing it, and they're doing anything but white. Anything but white. And the racism blatantly shows itself. So I wanted to show you a video of just them now, not just harassing they're harassing minorities. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know, and they're also harassing, obviously, and hitting people who protest. They're harassing white folks that are being protest, but they aren't going around asking them for ID of are you citizens or not. They're doing that to minorities, and that's it. As if this country was white folks first. It was Native Americans. So I wanted to play this video, and then we're going to go on and talk about something else here in a second. This video right here is it literally it literally commandeered and hiring ICE to get up on the roof as it was the homeowner had half of a roof.
Get the fuck on the car. Before you get fucking arrested. Get the fuck on the car. Before you get
that's fucking assault.
Don't move, you're gonna get fucking tased. Don't fucking move or you're gonna get tased. Because you want to be an idiot.
I'm not moving.
Because you want to be a fucking
idiot.
You're
a fucking pussy.
You're a fucking bitch. And you're gonna learn the fucking hard way.
The hard way. What does he mean by the hard way? Detaining a U.S. citizen. He has no business.
Just asked you for an ID. That was
I don't give a fuck what you asked me for, bitch.
Shut up. You don't have to.
Shut up, bitch.
You don't have
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? He has a gun on him. Look at that.
A fully registered firearm.
And it is.
Because I'm a U.S. citizen. What's wrong with y'all?
And they still detain him.
Wow.
Let's go. Get him in the fucking car.
That's a vax.
Before we go any further, and I'm had to come back to this video because I actually think we should. Now is a good time to talk about your rights when it comes to ICE, so that way you understand why everything that they're doing is against the Constitution and illegal. So let's talk about that for a minute. If you were to encounter ICE on the street, walking, or in a store, stay calm, confirm if you can leave, which obviously they were not letting him leave, and protect your rights. Ask them, I'm free to go. And if they say yes, leave calmly. What agency are you with? Name, badge, and all. They obviously wasn't going to give them any of that. The main page I wanted to go to is the fourth page, which is the frequently asked questions. Do I have to tell ICE I'm a U.S. citizen? No, you do not. You may say it, but you can stay silent. They have to have reasonable suspicion that you are not a U.S. citizen for them to take you in. And color, race, and ethnicity and accent is not none of those reasons. It's not a reason. It's just not. Can they stop you on the street? They can approach you and ask you questions, but stopping requires a legal basis. Can ICE stop me in a car? ICE can't randomly pull you over, but they do it anyway. Traffic stops are supposed to be done by police. They had to have reasonable suspicion to think that you are an illegal immigrant for them to do that. Can ICE question me in a store? They can question you, but you don't have to answer anything. Can ICE enter your home? The answer is no. They cannot enter your home without a judge's signed warrant. And if they got to get a warrant through, not a warrant, a administrative warrant, that is not a judge's warrant, so that you do not have to answer them, or you do not have to open your door for them. Again, the Fourth Amendment, no reasonable search and seizures. which they just violated this man because they had no reason to search him because he has no reason to give them his ID. Fifth Amendment, right to stay silent. You do not have to say anything to them. Sixth Amendment, right to counsel. What you may be required to provide in a traffic stop is your license, registration, and insurance. Ronnie, turn your music down some. What you can refuse: immigration questions, searches, and signing documents. All those things you can refuse. They had no legal basis to detain him. And I'm going to go back to it because you'll want to hear him actually say that in the middle of it. That's where we left off at. Oh, yeah. You don't have to.
Y'all are some real fucking scumbags, you know that,
I'm
right?
a scumbag?
Yes.
You just acted
You're
like
a fucking scumbag.
If you're a fucking U.S. citizen, you shouldn't have done that.
What made you get into?
So you hear what he's saying? You're a U.S. citizen. You shouldn't have done it. You're right. I'm a U.S. citizen, so I don't have to do this. And even if I'm not, I don't have to do it. I don't.
Why are you so mad at? Why are you so mad at immigrants? What did they do to you? Unlawful arrest. We'll see. What did I do?
So he said unlawful arrest. He said we'll see about that. He said, and that's what the officer said. We'll see about that. So he said, well, what did I do? What did I do? That tells you right there, because you're hearing them say what they say in the next second. They're going to tell them, we'll talk about it in a car. They have no reason to detain him. They have no reason to put him in a car. The amount of money this country is going to pay to people suing them is going to be in the billions. It's absolutely going to be in the billions.
Don't worry. We're going to fuck.
What did I do that was illegal?
Talk about it. You can explain it to the judge.
Okay. What? I didn't reach for anything. I reached for my whistle.
Then it came up with he reached for something because he had the gun on him, his own registered gun. And I reached for my whistle, which I'm pretty sure was around his neck. You can't believe a single thing that ICE is saying, that Homeland Security is saying, that our federal government is saying.
Y'all are grown men picking on fucking family, bro.
Picking on family?
You're picking on families, bro.
I'm fucking arresting child molesters. I'm fucking
Child molesters?
Yeah. Are you guys kidding me?
But now you're arresting a U.S. citizen for what?
You do my job? You know what?
For what?
Who here is a child molester, bro?
This one here, they just got out of the gas station and said, let me see your documents. That's literally what they did. They got out of the gas station and they asked this black man, let me see your documents. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Walking out your house, let me see your documents. This is not fucking Nazi Germany. This is not Russia. You do not have to keep your passport in your pocket. Don't get me wrong. I used to get mad at hell at my kids, and they would go on punishment if they did not have their ID on them.
Which they're not required to have.
Yeah, but they're not required, but I want them to make sure that they have it on them. But you do not have to. Now, if you get a traffic stop and the police officer say, I need you to see your license and registration, you better have that on you because you're required to have that. That's why you need to have your wallet and have those things with you. But you're not required to be able to show that you're a United citizen on you at all times. That is not a requirement anywhere in any law in any state or federal. It's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. And by telling ICE, I ain't got to show you anything, should not get you detained. It's against your civil rights.
And that, listen, I think part of this, I think part of it's just a fact, and I think it's part of the agenda of they wanting the United States citizens not to trust the government. That's why he's doing a lot of this stuff. It ain't just because he want to just, I want to go. It's other parts of this. It's not the thing that you see in your face. I'm telling you, it's getting people to not trust the federal government and its system, which is exactly what the agenda is, right? That's why a lot of people got to really think about this stuff, right? Seriously, you really got to think about this stuff because a lot of it is in your face, and these people, these whoever the hell they didn't hire to go out here and enforce this rule, and it's definitely a rule. Now, is it against things that we're normally not doing? Yeah. It's definitely one of those things we usually don't enforce. It's kind of like on holidays and places where you like, man, I ain't seen the police out here until like the end of the month because they got to get their quota. Right?
Yeah.
Not saying that they ain't out there, they just not enforcing it as tough as they could be. You feel what I'm saying? Now it's this effect of it, right? Where we ain't never seen ICE, but ICE was actually before all of this, before we got to see it. They were out here, but they was doing it legally.
Exactly.
They were doing it in a way that people saw it as being the right way to doing it.
And humanely.
Right.
Without cruelty.
Correct. Not freaking, sending people.
I'm not going to sit here and say that
charter flights to different countries.
Yeah, and I'm not to say here to say that there's never been any cruelty or anything like that.
So right. So
it was never like this. This is an onslaught. This and I hate to cut you off, but I wanted to say this. Like, they're doing this so that way he can do the insurrection act that he talked about doing today, and he can stay. And they want to say he joked about not having an election this year, but that's the end game. That's the end game.
Yeah,
that is the end game.
I said that at the very beginning of our thing. I said this is the only way that you can impeach. Those are the only ways that you can impeach the president. But he's gonna anyway. So let the system work the way that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
They're doing stuff. He's doing it so quick because he knows he has to try to get all this stuff, and they're trying. Listen, they're trying to get people in an uproar on purpose. So they can say, hey, they don't want to follow the rule of the federal government. Now I'm just going to take over everything. And it's never going to work that way because states still have their own rights.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other thing that people don't realize, that, the federal government come and do, but the states still got their own rights.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So don't get this all twisted and where, he's overreaching. Is the government really overreaching? I think they're overreaching. They're overreaching in a way that they're executing this.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing it unlawfully in instances where the people they have trained has only been trained for boot camp 6 weeks. So however
47 long days. 47 days.
Right. So
ask yourself, why is it 47 days? Right. Who's the 47th president?
I got you. Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's kind of like them old Western movies where the sheriff come in and say, I need to deputize some of y'all, and they all in the bar. They always all in the bar. They all been drinking.
Yeah.
Everybody deputized, and y'all about to go out here and hunt down these people. Like you drunk, you can't get into a virtual contract after you've been drinking. So I'm like, what kind of message? I'll be breaking these movies down, bro. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd like that. But
I'm gonna finish the video.
Yeah.
So here we go, y'all. Again, if y'all want to join the conversation, you're welcome to. The link is already in a Facebook. If you're and as well as YouTube. If you're on Facebook, if you don't mind sharing it on your personal Facebook, we're trying to get the community to get more people. Not only on the pod, but also watching. If you have a different viewpoint, by all means, call in. I want to hear it. I want to hear what you have to say. I would love to hear from a different viewpoint. I try often to find different viewpoints to come on the pod, and it never works out. It doesn't work out simply, but I'm gonna say simply. Sometimes it doesn't work out because they're full of shit and they can't defend the indefensible. And when I call them out on it, they go into la la land. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like bringing people on the pod that just to say, "Hey, look at the MAGA zoo animal." You know, that's not what I want. Somebody that can have an honest, fact-based discussion, and that's very hard to find when it comes to MAGA. So, by all means, but if you're watching and you think you can have that discussion, come on. The link is in the comments, both on YouTube and Facebook. But let's finish the video.
Or phone in.
Again, he asking for his documents just because he was a black man in Minnesota. And he threatened him. If I'm rewind a little bit because he said this can go two ways. You can show me your ID, or I can take you and put you in a van. That's a threat.
Yep, that's illegal.
Threat, and that's illegal.
Yep,
because he is not
threat of arrest.
To show his ID.
A threat of arrest is illegal.
Yes.
Yeah, you can sue. Yeah.
Fly with me, or you get
kidnapping you. Or I'm kidnapping you.
When I don't have to show you, when he does not have to show him anything.
How do I know you're a U.S. citizen?
How do I know you're a U.S. citizen? That's not my problem. He wanted to phone it to me.
Where were you born?
Yeah, clearly you
Are you a U.S. citizen or you got naturalized? U.S. You're naturalized? What year?
All of this he does not have to do. None of it. None of it does he have to do.
But again, this is part of them thinking they want you to not want the system to be worse. They want you to break the system down on purpose, bro.
Literally going to a Tesla charger and actually people try to you got that. You got your car. And then you actually try to
I'd have run my man with my car.
Again, he does not have to show me.
Nope.
And mind you, do y'all see y'all fellas? This is not just happening to Latino people. This is happening to everybody, any minority.
But we already knew this was coming. We talked about this before weeks ago, but it's gonna be like, you don't think
yes, you are required to.
Where are you safe?
Look, sir, you're gonna do this the easy way, or are we gonna take you in?
You cannot take me in.
Yes,
I'm
I can.
in my private.
Yes, I can.
Do
you have documentation?
I do have my documentation.
Can you present it to me?
Why
please?
are you asking me for my paperwork?
Again, you do not have to have documentation on your person. That is not required in any law whatsoever.
Right.
It's not. It's not.
Because of your accent.
I still
rewind it again.
You have my documentation.
Can you present it to me?
Why
please?
are you asking me for my paperwork?
Because of your accent.
You have an accent too.
Where were you born, sir?
Where were you born at?
Put your hands behind your back.
This really chaps my ass. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It's because it's completely illegal and uncalled for. But cruelty is part of the point. That's their main point. Cruelty is the point. Cruelty is the point. White supremacy is the point. Staying in charge is the point. The next one I wanted to play is a video of their recruitment, who they are recruiting.
Bros, Bobby.
Can No, that's you frozen. Well, I can see myself. Um, the next video I wanted to show is a recruitment video. How they're recruiting and who they're recruiting. I don't know if you guys know of Enrique Torres, but he is a convicted seditionist from January 6th that was serving 20 years in jail for treason against the United States of America as a seditionist. Trump pardoned him and gave him a badge and a gun and ICE. These are the people in ICE.
That's why they got their face covered so they don't find out that a lot of them people are from those dang.
Yeah,
are a lot of those dang.
I want you to see this, and this is actually a PBS report, and you're going to wonder why. This is why PBS has been defunded.
From the U.S. Department of Labor, a message. One homeland, one people, one heritage. Remember who you are, American. It's a video that appears to be part of a campaign now ramping up to sell the administration's efforts to the American people. For example, calling on potential ICE recruits to, quote, defend the homeland from outsiders while featuring heroic images of white men, often from a bygone era. Then there's this tweet from Friday, an ICE recruitment ad featuring the turn of phrase, "We'll have our home again," plastered over an image of a man on horseback and a stealth bomber flying in the distance. That's a reference to the song "We'll Have Our Home Again," a white supremacist anthem favored by the Proud Boys.
Oh my God, we'll have our home again. By God, we'll have our home.
Another image tells supporters to, quote, trust the plan, the slogan of the right-wing conspiracy theory known as QAnon, which posits there's a global cabal of pedophiles and deep state actors trafficking children and that Trump is fighting it. It's also a movement heavily involved in the insurrection on January 6, 2021. Last week, the Trump administration published a new website rewriting that history to blame Democrats for security failures that day and to justify the president's pardoning of more than 1,500 defendants. Last week, President Trump also sat for a lengthy interview with the New York Times. He was asked about the civil rights movement and told reporters that while the landmark legislation did some good things, he said, quote, it also hurt a lot of people that deserve to go to a college or deserve to get a job were unable to get a job. So it was a reverse discrimination. A day later, Trump supporter and billionaire Elon Musk wrote 100 above this message on X, which read in part, quote, if white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. White solidarity is the only way to survive. That's known as the Great Replacement Theory, popular in white nationalist circles, that falsely claims the white population is being intentionally replaced by non.
So, again, to say white supremacy has nothing to do with this is asinine. It's you know, when we say is dog whistles, is this, is that, like all you got to do is listen, because we as people that have been through the struggle and know what it looks like, we know. And the people that are white supremacists, they know what they're looking for. They know what they're hearing. And then you have the people so-called in the middle that wants to ignore it. They want to act like they don't see it and don't know. What helped the civil rights movement was good white folks helping us succeed and fix the wrongs. That has to happen again. And it's starting to. And that's why I go back to it. That's why they didn't want it to be Mrs. Good. Because it might being a white woman getting killed by ICE, the first one that you could see clearly that shouldn't have happened. That bothers that bothers our country. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, all that stuff was inevitable to happen, man. It was gonna happen one way or another. It happened back from a lot of these situations where, you know, all the citizens here start collectively saying, hey, this isn't the right thing to do, so we're going to change how it works, right? And then you had this tipping point to where, you know, you do have a citizen or mother murdered, by the very people that were supposed to be protecting the homeland or people of her hue, and they killed one of them, and then they covered up like, whatever.
It was a blatant lie, and you could see,
right,
you could clearly see that it was a blatant lie.
Right. So there, that stuff again. There is no, like you said a couple weeks ago, there is no limitations on murder. So the thing is, like, a lot of people, like, if you think about what we kind of been talking about already the whole entire time, it's actually more people now coming together and they seeing this stuff.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Where they like, oh shoot, how are we going to stop this ebb and flow? They can't. It's the snowball has started heading downhill already. There is no stopping the avalanche. It's over, and they know it. So they know that if they're at the end of that ramp of that snowball, they're going to collect and do as much damage they possibly can before that snowball catch up with them. And this is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people to distrust the government of things that they're doing to harm people, taking away SNAP, trying to get rid of voting rights, trying to get rid of the citizenship rights, trying to get rid of everything, trying to redistrict, trying to freaking trying to tear the very fabric of this of our country, and some people obviously thinking to themselves like, listen, this flag has been torn and burnt and all kind of stuff way worse than this happening right now. Right. Yeah. And more people are against what's happening, believe it or not, because had it not been, it would be more people going into these agencies to help with these kidnappings. Right. Yeah. So that look at that portion of it. That recruitment number is not as high as people think. Actually, people are starting leaving it. So once they start realizing it, like, holy crap,
I can't see myself ever wanting to do that.
So I agree 100%. But some people you can tell them to eat the blue pill, to eat the blue pill. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of knowing that it'll kill them, they're just because I can follow you down this river, right? So like I said, I'm happy that some of these things happen, not tragedies where we're losing citizens and people getting hurt and things of that nature. I'm happy to where people are actually that need to see these things to get on board are actually saying these things and actually starting to speak up about them now.
Yeah, right? Some of America needed to touch the stove. They did.
Yes, sir.
With the ACA subsidies that aren't getting passed.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So touch the stove, and that's what's happening.
100%, and they'll heal. They'll burn their hands, get healed up a little bit. You're gonna have in any movement, if you will, you're gonna have gains and losses, right? Some of them are going to be some serious losses. I mean, serious losses, but you're going to have major gains out of it, right? So a lot of people need to just, again, continue to get out there and get in your community, get to know your neighbors, get your connections strong. So when they do come into your neighborhood, so they're coming, you all as a collective in that neighborhood are speaking the same language. It's, hey, get the fuck out of our neighborhood. We don't deal with that kind of bullshit over here, right? That's where that's where they need to start realizing that the people that are around our nucleus or our neighborhoods are the key people that need to be touched. Again, those people all know people too. So that, again, that umbrella grows, right? So getting this information out, Bobby, is key. And I thank you for, having this platform to speak on this stuff, to get the information out, because each one teach one. Right. Yeah. Each one teach one, and it goes on for so on and so forth. Right. So a lot of those things need like these things are happening. Even some of the things that, some of the big proponents or not proponents, some of the big supporters are looking at this like, wait.
The podcast,
this is wrong.
The Joe Rogans of the world.
Right. The 20 million followers of the world, right?
Are starting to say, whoa, this is a bit, but they're starting to say that because it's not, they're just not affecting minorities.
Right.
They're seeing cruelty to everybody that are because again, you do have the racial aspect, but you also have the aspect of this, my side versus your side. and either you're on my side or you and you're okay, and I got your back no matter what you do. I got your back, or you're on the other side, and I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what's gonna happen to you. And people are starting to see, well, whoa, this isn't really what I signed up for. And then you're starting to realize that people are starting to realize that he is a fraud, that he is a crook, that he is corrupt. I want to segue that to. I wanted this again. I'm sorry that this is a video heavy pod, but I got these videos because I wanted you guys to see what's really going on. So I just showed you just now how they are recruiting white supremacists to be in ICE, and they're getting them at droves. I'm not going to lie, they are getting them. Because why wouldn't they? You're going to pay me 150, 200,000 a year to
harass people?
Yeah, to harass minorities. Yeah, I got it. Shoot, I'll do that for free. You gonna give me the authority and immunity? Show it. So I wanted you to see the vetting process of an ICE agent.
They're promising on-the-spot hiring to where you could, in fact, walk out with your $50,000 bonus that day, possibly. I went in, I handed in my resume, which was, I did a skills-based resume. I'm a veteran. I served 2 tours in Afghanistan. So on the surface, the resume looked pretty good. Had a very brief interview, took all of 6 minutes. They didn't ask very many questions. And then I left, assuming I would never hear back, because I'm a very Googleable person. I have an unusual name. I'm the only Laura Judith on the internet. And I make no secret of how I feel about ICE and Trump and all of it. So I was not expecting several days later to receive a tentative offer. I missed it in my inbox and it sunk to the bottom, which means that I never filled out the paperwork they requested. I never accepted the tentative offer. I never filled out my background check paperwork. I never signed the affidavit saying I committed no domestic violence crimes, none of it. A few weeks later, I got a message from LabCorp saying that ICE wanted me to do a drug test, and I went ahead and did that. I was pretty sure I wouldn't pass. I'd partaken in legal cannabis 6 days before the test, but why not waste some of their money, right? And then 9 days after that, I decided I wanted to, I was curious, had they processed the drug test yet? So I logged onto the ICE hiring portal, and what I found was that not only did the drug test not seem to be relevant, I was listed as having joined ICE as of 3 days earlier. I had listed that I had accepted the offer. They had offered me a final position as a deportation officer. My background check was listed as completed 3 days in the future from when I was looking at it. So it seems like the answer to the question, who are they hiring, is they don't know. I mean, it's very funny that they hired a lefty journalist with a profile on Antifa Watch. That's hilarious. But what's not funny is they didn't make me sign a domestic violence waiver. So how many people with domestic violence convictions are running around with guns in our cities terrorizing people? How many people who have been committed of sex crimes or crimes against children are in charge of detention centers where there's no oversight, where people won't be missed and won't be believed? The agent was very keen on letting me know that I wouldn't be given a badge and a gun right away. I wouldn't be out in the street messing people up. I would probably have to push paperwork for about 6 months before I got there. And when I expressed that was fine with me, with my analyst background, he actually, the atmosphere changed. He was like, no, listen, we want everyone on the street with guns eventually.
So, what's so crazy about that is
from the U.S.
Excuse me. What also is so crazy about that is ICE actually, the Homeland Security actually came back and said that she was lying. So hold on, give me 1 second.
Of course they did.
Because I wanted to bring that up.
Of course they did. They probably got AI doing this crap.
Yeah. So as you can see here, ICE is Homeland Security said, this is such a lazy lie. This individual was never offered a job by ICE. Applicants may receive a tentative selection letter following their initial application and interview. That is not a job offer. It just means that they are invited to submit information for review similar to any other applicant. So basically they're saying she got the tentative letter and she didn't get to the point where she would have did an actual background check and everything like that. And the reporter came with notes and said, literally, are you sure about that? And see if I can. Does it show the full screen?
No.
I don't like it does. The full screen of this.
Just read it. You gotta
Yeah. Well, it's basically her literally on her ICE immigration profile showing the process and where her application is.
Mm-hmm.
And it says everything that she's actually offered to the job. And you see there, welcome to ICE. Well, it's about to show you here in a second. Welcome to ICE. She's on board. She was hired.
Mm-hmm.
She's hired. So we have a bunch of liars in charge of this administration. And it's really comical, number one, that they would even come out and lie about something as simple as this, because they should know that, especially as a reporter, that she's going to have the receipts. She's going to have all that documentation and wait for them to lie. No different than them saying last week that the woman rammed into an officer, that the woman she found officers, surrounded officers and rammed into them, that they were pushing a car out of snow. None of that shit was true.
Mm-hmm.
None of it was true. We have liars in office right now. And it's really that simple.
Yeah.
Really
they knew that. They knew that in the beginning. So don't be shocked about people gonna go cover their own tail and say whatever story they want to fabricate.
That is why these people is going to have to be prosecuted. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this locally, because there will be a mass pardon in 2029.
2026. Because because what's gonna happen? He's gonna have to do it in early 2027.
No, he's not.
Listen, hear me out.
Go ahead.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
So what's gonna happen when the house flips? Who's in charge of investigations?
Mm-hmm. But they'd have no teeth because they have to recommend it. Hold on, because they can recommend a criminal prosecution, criminal cases, but it goes to Trump's DOJ. They're not going to prosecute anything. So nothing is going to happen until 2029.
Right. So again, like what I was trying to say earlier, and I get what you're saying in 2029 when everything flips out, and then you can go about, and then it's going to look like, again, they're going to be, they're criminally charging their political proponents. So that's the setup.
Which is bullshit. Which is bullshit in and of
itself.
itself.
It's the setup. This is all a setup, right? So this is never going to change ever. This is already that car is out that garage, never going back in it, right? And where they're going to say, they're prosecuting their political adversaries, right? Where every administration is going to do that now. You think when somebody else comes into power, they're not going to do the exact. They're going to have to do it because they're going to have to catch you in your lies and prosecute you. Right?
It has to happen. This is beyond anything.
Right. So that car is out the garage already. So just stand by, and they know this portion of it, right? So what they're doing, like I was trying to say earlier, is they're trying to get people to not trust the federal government's system.
Mm-hmm.
On purpose. This is just a seed that's planting right now. This ain't the tree. This ain't the grass. This is just a seed. It's under the ground, and all they're doing is sitting back and they watering it every day.
Well,
they watering it with.
It's you cut
people
off.
Kidnapped, bombing ships. They're kidnapping presidents. So this is kind of stuff that people need to really pay attention to. It don't help to water it.
If you really think about it, it's already happened, because half the country don't believe this, more than half the country do not believe this administration, and a third of the country didn't believe the last administration and won't believe the next administration if it's a Democrat. So it's already has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes back to me trying to talk to a Trump supporter. If we look outside and the sky is blue, and you calling it green, there's nothing for us to talk about. If we, for instance, because this happened to me just yesterday, if I ask my favorite question of any Trump supporter, how do you feel about a sex offender who raped a 16-year-old being on a board for children, and you come back to me and says you lied because the board affects more than just children, and then go into, do you even know what his charges are? Was it rape L1, 2, or 3? There's nothing else for us to talk about.
Right, I agree.
It's not because your morals is already fucked up. You already at a point where I already know that if we can't agree that a child rapist shouldn't be on the board for children, and let's say all, because this is for all Americans. Okay, you still don't find a problem with that? Well, and then going to, do you even know what it means? He's not even going to be around children. That's literally what he said. He's not even going to be around. I said, you know what? I'm good, bro.
Exactly what I would have done. I would have walked away from that conversation and not continued the headache.
So do I want to have a pie where everybody get to go to the MAGA zoo for the day? Do y'all want to go to the MAGA zoo for the day? Is that what the pie going to be? Because if we can't agree on that you know that you can't, and it's not accidental. It's like, you know what, he made a misjudgment here. He shouldn't have did that. Then you know what? Then now we can call them balls and strikes here.
Yeah.
Now we can have a discussion. They can't do it.
No, so they're not gonna do it. Dog, they are kind of like those people that get kidnapped and then they start having sympathy for the kidnappers.
Mental gymnastics.
I forgot what that syndrome's called. And it's a real thing. Stockholm syndrome.
Exactly.
Right? So this is really what it is. Yeah. Is that you can train people. People are like, I said this months ago. Humans are so easily influenceable, man. So easily. And people don't understand. I don't care what level of education you have either. Where they say, oh, you know, I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD. You're still naive in a lot of subjects, right?
I think it's bigger than that.
Yeah, whole bigger.
Especially when it comes to, I would say no, it's not based just on a racial aspect. It is on all Trump supporters, but especially with Black Trump supporters, I will say that it is an emphasis on that. With Black Trump supporters, they think they smarter than the average Black man. They think they're smarter than the average person, and they think that they're the smartest one in the room, and really they're the village idiot. Really, we're looking at you like, ooh, you got
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
here's the basis for me, right? So even Trump supporters or whoever it is, right? If you are able to support someone who's been convicted for all those things, had so many bankruptcies, stole money from people,
and then say Democrats are the party of fraud. Go ahead.
Hold on. Enriches his friends in your face.
Yeah.
And you still support this person.
Yeah.
There is no conversations to be had because there's no way they're going to be the one. That's kind of, you know what it is to me? It's kind of like a drug fiend, a drug addict, right? A drug addict, no matter how much treatment you give them, how much love you give them and support you give them, the only way they're going to stop using drugs is they have to be the one to stop using drugs.
Absolutely.
So
and for them to admit that they're wrong about one thing means that it opens opens the can of like, ooh, how much was I really wrong about? If I'm wrong on this, if I can say that he's wrong for putting a child molester on a board for children, what's the next thing that I'm gonna say he's wrong about?
Right.
You know?
Everything.
It's really
there's a plethora of things that you can go with. But for me, like I look at people with their with a foundation, right? If their foundations is built on lies and deceit and robbing people and self-enrichment and whatever they feel about other racial or other people and their backgrounds, if your foundation is that, I don't care what you do, you are never going to be supported by a person. Myself, never. Yeah. That's the Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, I'm gonna call that the Marjorie Taylor Greene that's the Marjorie Taylor Greene grade now. If your foundation is jacked up as bad as it is, no matter what you do to get off of that, your foundation or your pedestal is still
She's not invited to the, she's not invited to the barbecue. I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate what you're doing and your intellectual honesty at
I don't
this
even want
moment, but
Listen.
you still can't come to the barbecue.
Listen, I don't even want your effort to try because I can't trust you.
You got and I ain't saying I'm a but I respect people that can finally say something honest. I will give you respect for that moment.
You know what I respect? I respect people that pay their due or they pay. You know when people go to jail and they pay their not restitution, but when they pay their debt to society.
Exactly.
When she finished paying her debt to me, then I may accept her. But she ain't paid no debt to society yet. She was years. She still supports some of the shit that
she's still American first, i.e. she still have white supremacy tendencies. Don't get me wrong.
So you would never. I don't care. You wouldn't even. You would never even have you would have time of day to freaking talk about nothing.
She has never said anything wrong about what's going on with ICE. She hasn't. She hasn't said anything. She's fine with that.
She won't admit that. Man, she won't even admit that the January 6th stuff was a thing. Like really? Like you can't even admit still today, right now. Right?
Love for her.
Right. So again, that goes to show you that there are going to always be people are going to be who they are. Now, if you start accepting them and start letting them have their platform or trying to get an escape clause is basically what she's trying to do, trying to soften the blow of what's going to happen in the future because she can see it coming because it's coming, right?
I don't think any of these people belong to polite society. I don't. Either need to go to jail or they ostracize for life. And I have no respect for anybody that is okay with what's going on. I just don't.
Right, and the thing for those people is the legacies that they're leaving for their children. So it's not really they don't at the point of what children are going to be affected in society. Now, even if you're a gazillionaire and you got all this money, can't make you hide because people see who you are. Yeah. You understand what I mean? They know where you come from. They know what your foundation is. And even when people say stupid stuff like we're replacing blah blah, white people are the majority on the planet. Period. So so people got to understand don't look at the smaller picture of what the United States is. Worldwide, you have to have that picture in your head. Right. And that's the thing that people really need to understand that portion of it. It's always been that way. It's not something new. Oh my God, they're gonna no. Stop letting them put that crap in people's heads. Everyone is connected somewhere or another. Because that's why they call it the 6 degrees of separation. Everybody's connected in this world. You feel what I'm saying? So there is no replacing anybody. Because if you replace any of it, everybody's getting replaced. You understand what I mean? So it's everybody's mixing somewhere or another. Unless you came out the Garden of Eden, everybody mixed in this jank. You know what I mean? So the thing, like people got to remember that is that you got to go out there and we got to build your coalitions of people that are on the same page and speaking the same thing and getting the same knowledge that you have. Share your knowledge with people. If you know something that's happening out here, and just talked about earlier, it's like, here's your rights. This is what you should do if ICE stops you. Yeah, it's key. Pass those words around to your people. Give them the information. Let them go do their research about this because they're going to know people to give it those type of information. Even if you think it's a might or something that's not super important, it is important.
It is.
Some people may not know what they should do in those specific situations where they will do something really stupid out of there, something that makes them not safe. You understand what I mean? So these pods, like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? Get on here, speak your mind. It's open. I love the opposite way of people think because then you can kind of see where their minds are. Right. So keep that kind of stuff in mind too.
And I wanted you really had the perfect segue to me going back to the slideshow because I want to go to and get this information out for our people. and
This
then
is key.
change the subject to the last thing I wanted to talk about today.
No, this is key stuff, man. This is stuff
Yeah.
that people should have. Make a screenshot of this. Print it out.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna make a personal or a small snippet of this so that way people can share it as well. But so let's get into real quick, people. The ICE encounters. If you were to encounter the ICE on the street while you're walking, or in a store, first off, always stay calm. You know what I mean? Because as we can see, they are agitated and they are willing and wanting to have a confrontation. Confirm if you're free to leave and protect your rights. So do first. Ask if you're free to leave calmly. Just say, "Can I go? Can I go?"
Mm-hmm.
Next, ask, "What agency are you with?" and give me your name and badge number. I would add in there, and I didn't put it in there, but I should have added in there. Bring your phone out and record everything.
Absolutely.
There actually is a way on your phone to say to Siri, and maybe I need to work on that for the next pod because my nephew told me about it.
You can tell, "Hey Siri, I'm being stopped by police,"
and it will send a location to somebody.
Yep.
It will record everything that's going on, and all you got to say is, "Hey Siri, I'm being stopped." So there's a way to do that, and I'll get that out for next pod. I'll make that my homework for myself. That if you're being stopped, whether it's by police or by ICE, this is what you should do. So that way you can have this conversation and what's going on recorded, because we know now. We know now. Didn't know now. We have no black folks have known since we got here, since we landed. We were going to be lied on, but now you know. Now you can see that it's about either you're with them or you're against them. So if they think you're against them, they will lie on you. So this involves any and everybody. Okay. Lastly, I'm gonna say, say what this is, or not say what this. Lastly, but let's keep going. So keep your hands visible. Do not argue or run. You can record in public. It does not interfere. If it does not interfere, sorry. Say as little as possible. Say I'm a citizen if true. I'm going to remain silent. You really don't have to say that you're a citizen, but if you want to say that and leave it alone, you can. You can also say, "I want a lawyer." Do not consent to searches. I do not consent to any searches. I will never consent to any searches by them. Continuing on, during a traffic stop, provide your driver's license, your driving documents, your driver's license, your registration, and your insurance. Do not answer any questions about immigration. Okay. In most states, that's what you need to provide: your driver's license, registration, insurance. Follow the law commands that they give you. Keep your hands visible on the steering wheel. This honestly is something now, because this is the same talk that we had to give to our kids, and we got when we was growing up. Now it needs to go for everyone, because you just don't know. You just don't know when you're going to get stopped. And don't get me wrong. Again, I'll say it again because it's the truth. They aren't stopping white folks for immigration papers. They're stopping them for quote unquote interfering with duties that they're doing. But still, this still applies to anybody that gets stopped. Ask yourself or ask them, what is the reason I'm being stopped? Am I being detained or am I free to go? If you ask about immigration, you refuse to answer the questions. I'm going to remain silent. Repeat, I want a lawyer. Refuse searches. Again, continue to refuse searches because they do not have the right to search you. And if I say ICE wants you, ask them for a judge warrant. Encounter in your home. Do not open the door. Speak through it. Again, do not open the door. Speak through it. Do you have a warrant signed by a judge? Again, there is a difference between an administrative warrant and an actual warrant signed by a judge. An administrative warrant, they are not allowed to come into your house. Ask them to slide it under the door or hold it at a window if they say they do have a warrant by a judge. If no judge warrant is signed, do not consent for entry. But if they do enter, even besides all of that, obviously do not, resist physically. I'm going to remain silent. Tell them, again, you want a lawyer, and document everything as much as you possibly can. So I hope we all learned something there. Again, if you would like to join the conversation before we get off here in a little bit, you're welcome to. The link is in the YouTube as well as the Facebook. Please like and subscribe as well. The last thing that I wanted to touch on today is the U.S. Postal Service have changed postmarks. It used to be the day that you dropped it off, it will be postmarked, and that will be the legal date that was sent into the mail, and you would, whether it's for voting, whether it's for taxes, whether it's for anything to do of legally, you complied by the law or whatever that you had to comply by because you sent it off in that timely fashion with that postmark. And I'm gonna just play the quick video and then we continue on the other side because it has completely changed in 2026. Now it is when they process it.
Which could be never.
It could be
or after the election.
Or after the election, exactly. Let me play the quick video just so you can understand what I'm talking about, and then we continue on.
Some big changes coming to the U.S. Postal Service in the new year. First, postmarks will now reflect the date an envelope is first processed by a sorting machine, not necessarily the day you drop it off. That could lead to time-sensitive mail like bill payments and tax returns being postmarked late, costing you fees and penalties. The Postal Service recommends dropping off time-sensitive mail a few days ahead of.
I honestly think this has everything to do with
mail-in ballots.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this is nothing but mail-in ballots and a way to stop them. You got to understand, in 2020, more people voted in 2020 than any other election in history. And why is that? Because it was easier to vote in 2020 than any other election in history. The Republican Party wins when less people vote.
100%.
That's a fact, people. It's a fact. That's why they came up with voter ID laws. That's why they shut down DMVs after they came up with voter ID laws. That's why you can use a hunting license, but you can't use a student ID. All of those things are because they know the harder it is to vote, the more likely it is for the Republicans to win.
Yeah, 100%. Move the polling place that people been voting for decades.
Yes.
Move that somewhere that they ain't even the same districts anymore. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different ways that have been doing this stuff. But you got people out there. You should ask yourself, why would they change the postmark dates for the mail? If I put something in the mail and the mail carriers or the mail processors collect it and it's postmarked that day, why is that changing?
That's a beautiful. It's changed again because of they don't want people mail-in voting. But this is perfect, and thank you. This is why we have this is why we're a community. This first comment right here is why we are a community, because we learn together. And KB just said, I read that you can go to the post office and ask them to stamp it for you. So let's start this right now. If you're going to mail-in vote, you have to go to the post office and ask them to stamp it right then and there while you're there in front of you. This is what this community is about. Now we just learned something. And the next comment by KB is post office have confirmed that they have to do it. So from now on, when it comes down to mail-in voting, you're going to mail-in vote or anything else, taxes or anything else like that you want to make sure that it's in on a timely manner, take it inside of the post office and have them stamp it in front of you.
Watch what's going to happen next. They're going to start charging people for that.
It won't surprise me.
Watch, I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Or it's going to be so many people. It's going to be like the voting line. There's going to be so many people that's there, especially on the last day of voting, that it's going to be like the voting line.
100%. But that's what they want. They want that jam log, that jam of people trying to get in there and get your stuff done. That's why we have to be educated. Educate yourself on your state's voting and on not just the state or the local. Do it on the local, state, and federal levels, because you have every level have different dates that you have to go and vote for or register and vote for every level. And if you want to go out there and and affect change in your communities or in our communities, you have to educate yourself to go out there and understand the election process. One, two, you got to know when those dates are, because they put the dates out, but most people don't pay it too much attention to, because they like, oh, I'm gonna do it last minute. Do it early.
Yep. Absolutely.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Absolutely.
Don't be in that long log jam of a line that want to go to the post office and get their stuff stamped. That's what they want you to do.
Yep.
That's why they're giving you options to do these type of things. They're not gonna make it easier. That's not making it easier for anyone. That's making it more difficult, right? So you got to think to yourself, always ask yourself, like, why is that changing all of a sudden? Why at this point?
At this point,
why is it changing?
You know why?
When if people are so confident in them being elected again ever, then why you got to change what happened? Why would you have to change anything when you want all three chambers of Congress or all three chambers of government? Doesn't make sense to me. So it shouldn't make sense to anyone else. Why would they have to change a system where they won all three branches of government? But now all of a sudden they want to change the rules.
Yep.
To that same type of election. Why? Why do you think that would be? It's because they know what's coming. That snowball has already left the top of the mountain and it's floating, and it's now becoming an avalanche. And they know what's coming.
Yep.
Right. So they're trying to protect themselves as much as possible. Right. But how we can defend that portion of it is kind of like, they playing chess. We can play chess. There's always a counter move, but you got to think it through. Think about those type of things. Get your community out there. Get the information out there. What Bobby's doing, which is great. Telling you what you should be doing, and having these conversations with not just your neighbors. Talk to your family members. Talk to the ones that don't do social media as much as some of us do. Get that information out to them, because you never know how it's going to change their lives or anyone else around them. They're gonna everyone in this community or everyone here are the majority of us are still good.
Yeah.
Good outweighs bad every single time. So get out there, do what we're supposed to do. Don't get distracted about this. A lot of this bull crap. Look over here when the Epstein files still got to be coming out, right? They still kind of dragging that through, right? So those kind of things that don't lose focus on those things that need to be continuously microscoped, and that's where we need to be at, as a community. What I'm saying? Not trying to tear each other apart about what somebody says because the algorithm says certain things. Go do your research. And then once you find something out, be a great citizen or a brother or sister or neighbor or whoever you want to call, and say, hey, I can educate us and help us become a better community, because ain't nobody really gonna come protect us except us, and it's always been that way, right? Yep. So get out there and do what you know is right.
Yep.
And everything else will work itself out.
With that being said, we have a new guest. Welcome back to the pod, Baba. Can you hear us? Because I don't know if your mic is on or not. Baba? Yeah, I don't know.
I can see it. I can see
I can see it, yeah, but I can't hear him and it's not showing anything.
Yeah.
All right, we got to help him work on his stuff for next time, because we're about to clean our palette. Yeah, we're about to clean our palette. All right, it's been a outstanding week again. I'll say, just because we're alive and we are going to continue to progress and move forward. And with that being said, I want to. I don't know if y'all hear my grandkids in the background.
That's a beautiful sound.
Yeah. So we're going to clean our palette, and today's clean our palette. Today is January 15th, and two very important people was born on this day. The first is Irene Capers Shipman.
My grandmother's birthday today too.
Your grandma? That's my grandma. That's my grandmother. So man. So we got three important people. What is your grandmother's name?
Bernie. She's gone. She passed away in 1996. But yeah, she would have been. What is this? 26. She would have been. Oh my God, 96 years old today.
96.
Yeah.
So my grandmother passed away the end of 24 and just over 100. She was going on 101.
Yeah, I
And
remember
so
that.
she was born January 15th today.
Yep.
And so happy birthday. Happy birthday. And the third person that was that was very important in our lives that was born today is one Dr. Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
Was born January 15th, 1924. And
29.
29. Yeah, I'm sorry. 29.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's cleaning our palate, man. We celebrate those who have pushed us forward to where we are. Is not a finished product. I'm not going to say here by any stretch of the imagination that we're a finished product. However, we are better today than we were when our grandparents were born. And we got to continue to push that envelope, continue to push us through so that our grandkids will be better off than we were when we were born. So with that being said, I love y'all.
I'll be back, bro.
Please hit the subscribe. Please join us again next week. Again, we're going back to Wednesdays. 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 And we're going to stay on Wednesdays. We're not changing again. Okay. I'm sorry. I tried to go back to Thursdays. And then it was like, everybody's back to Wednesdays. I'm like, let's go back to Wednesdays. So we're going back to Wednesdays. We're going to stay on Wednesdays. We're not changing Wednesdays. And I love y'all. I love my Shipwreck community. I love you, bro.
Love you back.
I'll see y'all next time. See y'all next week. Peace.
Get out there and vote. Get your people out there.